hugs and big smiles. Let's hear it for hugs, 'cause they're grand. Hooray for hugs, hooray for hugs. Put your arms around someone. Hooray for hugs, hooray!
Oh, it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And since it's Christmas, I thought, what better day to give you the gift of revulsion in my new video series I've decided to call Unintentionally Terrifying. I've had this idea long before I even started this channel, but I wanted to wait until I found something that really encapsulated the meaning behind Unintentionally Terrifying, just so you know what I'm going for.
Now, we all know there was scary imagery in kids' movies and shows now and back in the day, but those were mostly intentional. Mostly.
Old Disney is prime example of intentionally terrifying imagery. For example, the clown fireman in Brave Little Toaster. Or the repair shop in Brave Little Toaster. Or the air conditioner scene in Brave Little Toaster. Or the dump in Brave Little... Wow, you know what? That whole movie could really just be a horror cartoon now that I think about it. Oh, you know what? What about the pink elephant abomination from Dumbo that was made up of only heads? My, what LSD can create, am I right? Oh, hey, you know what? Since we're on the subject, remember that claymation movie, The Adventures of Mark Twain, where Mark Twain, Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, and Becky Thatcher
go on a magical, mystical journey on an airship where they meet Satan?
Yeah, I'm not joking, by the way. Look.
Hello.
Who are you?
An angel.
What's your name?
Satan.
I'm moving past it. No. The things I'm referring to are the ones that are supposed to be cutesy and adorable, but then they're actually...
Well, hi there, cutie. My goodness, I just said hello.
Why do you look like that?
This thing is a Huggabunch.
Look, I know I review horror movies and video games, but this is by far the creepiest shit I have ever seen in my life.
And you know the craziest thing about these demons? They were a popular doll in the 80s. In 1985, Kenner broke a divine seal to bring these unholy things into toy stores and made $40 million in 1 year.
If you calculate that for like today money, that's about $110 million on these things.
Ugh, even the babies they come with are weird looking.
I just... soldier on, I guess. Oh, I remember the balloons in that jingle. Enjoy it, because that's the only cute thing in this entire movie.
The movie opens with a little girl named Bridget sitting in her bed pondering at us about how strange it is that her parents gave her and her brother, Andrew, presents outside of their birthdays or Christmas.
Oh boy, just what I always wanted.
Children in the 80s loved getting electric hot plates.
Parents don't give presents unless there's a reason.
I mean, sometimes it's just nice to buy things for people because you love them. Or you think that they would like it.
Why?
Why? Because we love you. Because you've been such a good girl.
But not that good.
What did you do, Bridget? And it's a stuffed animal, not a Nintendo. Relax, Damien.
Like I said, there's something very mystifying going on. And I think it has to do with Grams.
This kid is so cynical and distrusting for a first grader.
What exactly did these parents do before that made her so weary about them giving her surprise presents?
You're new here, Sweet William, so let me explain to you about our family. We live in this house.
Holy shit, look at the size of that house!
That's like Home Alone levels of house.
It used to belong to Grandpa and Grandma, but we bought it when he died. And now we live here and Grandma lives with us.
Your parents bought a house from your grandmother, who's still alive? I'll come back to that. Carry on, child.
That's my Aunt Ruth.
Good morning.
She's all right. Sometimes she's bossy.
Hey parents, just in case you forgot for when you were a kid, when a kid says somebody is bossy, that means they're a bitch. I have never met a kid who refers to somebody as bossy and still likes them.
It's the Lieutenant Governor. I put him on hold.
Hello, sir. Hello. The line's dead.
No, it's not. You can still hear the dial tone. That's not what dead means.
Mom, don't try to help so much. Just Stick with the cooking, okay?
Okay, now I know she said cooking, but the first time I watched this movie was on a much worse upload than the one I'm showing here. And it sounded like she said, stick with the cocaine. And frankly...
And that's my brother Andrew, a grump. Andrew's into electronic junk and baseball, like all his friends.
Electronics and baseball. I think my hobbies are far superior. Therefore, I will mock Andrew and think he's a loser. This is Redford. He's a Build-A-Bear. I bought him pajamas that have Animal Crossing on them. And look, there's these things. The bunny slippers. I should not be in charge of my own money.
Bridget gets called down for breakfast by her mom when she notices something wrong with her mirror.
Is somebody there? Listen, I'm waving at you. If you're there, wave back, okay?
Oh no! She tapped thrice and acknowledged his presence.
Bridget, your breakfast is getting cold.
All right, I'm coming, Mom.
That's supposed to be a finger, right?
Morning, Dad. Morning, Mom.
Hi, you breakfast time.
Morning, Aunt Ruth.
Bridget, please, we're talking.
Ew, loving affection from a child? Disgusting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is giving a child a hug gonna derail the whole conversation?
Mom, I heard it again.
For what, honey?
The voice. Remember I told you there's this little voice that comes through my mirror? I heard it again.
Oh boy, are you weird.
I love that nobody is even batting an eye about this child talking about conversing with people behind a mirror.
Mom is like, oh, that Bridget, always talking to things that aren't there, and Andrew is just annoyed.
You know, Poltergeist was only released 3 years before this movie and has a very similar beginning.
When I was little, I heard voices in my mirror, too.
All little girls make up play people to talk with, dear.
So Mom is in denial, and Grandma suffered from the same audio hallucinations when she was young. And no one wants to address this, huh?
Not even the nurse aunt? Cool, cool.
No, Mom. I didn't make it up. It's there. It comes from the mirror. Honest.
Bridget pleads for her mother to believe her, but Mom is quite literally ignoring her before the bitch aunt drops this little bombshell.
Mother, you know you'd be better off there. You just feel you're in the way here anyway.
Okay, first of all, fuck you. The reason a lot of elderly people feel that they're in the way is because the people in their life make them feel that way.
Second, why is she pushing to put Grandma in a home to begin with? Because she can't work a landline phone? Hand anyone under the age of 60 a rotary phone and see how well they can work it. This nurse is acting like Grandma has full-on dementia instead of being a little forgetful.
There will be people her own age over there.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I understand Grandma might want friends her own age outside of the home, but the way you rectify that is taking her out to a senior center for the afternoon. You don't throw her in a for-profit cesspool that is retirement homes in the US, where I'm guessing this is based in.
It's just a foreign concept to me to not want to have your grandparents around if they're loving people.
Now, if Grandma was like Aunt Ruth, I'd understand sending her off to the old people pound. I also love the wacky food prep scene they have playing in the foreground while the adults talk about this very serious topic in front of the children.
Well, it is a kids movie, so I guess they have to soften the blow somehow.
They give us presents for no reason. And Aunt Ruth is hanging around all the time. What's going on?
Boy, are you thick. It's Grandma.
What about her?
They're putting her out to pasture.
They're gonna shoot Grandma? That seems a bit of an overreaction. I'm sure the lieutenant governor will call back.
Like a horse who's too old for anything. So they just put him in a field, let them eat and enjoy their life until they grow old and die.
That's not what happens to old horses in a lot of cases, Andrew.
You don't show Graham any affection. You don't love anybody but yourself and your dumb old computer.
Yeah, I'm pretty awesome. Rightfully upset, Bridget goes up to the attic where her grandma is looking through old photos.
I'm just moving to another home where I'll have people my own age to talk to.
But you're our family.
Well, with everything going on, I am in the way.
You know, I get the feeling that the selling of this house wasn't really Grandma's idea.
I can't help but think that Grandma was talking to selling her house to the parents, which, because she's a loving grandma, most definitely sold it to them well below its worth, under the guise that she could still live there with the family she loves until they started subtly suggesting she should move into a retirement community.
You're not in the way, your children are just assholes.
Bridget laments that her and Grandma are the only ones that show affection, and Grandma reminds Bridget of a story she used to tell about the land of hugs.
Across the whole vast meadows where the cherry trees grow.
Is there such a place, Graham?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. However could there not be?
Bridget goes back to her room to have a tea party when she hears the siren song of the creature behind the mirror.
Well, hi there, cutie. My goodness, I just said hello.
Yeah, that would probably be my reaction too, except probably more screaming and throwing things trying to break the mirror to keep it from coming through.
Hello. You always do that when you get visitors?
Ew, do you like not have mirrors in the land of hugs?
You're somehow felty and fleshy.
Ya gross.
Didn't mean to scare you. You're Bridget, aren't you?
I still can't believe this doll was ever popular. I mean, it's like a weird monkey paw situation. We'll make this doll insanely popular, but it's gonna steal your child's soul at night while it's sleeping.
Now, child.
You called me here and I will not leave without a price. How fond are you of your eyes?
You know what occurred to me while I was writing this script? I have never come across one of these dolls, and I go to a lot of antique and thrift stores.
And I know I didn't because there's no way I wouldn't have looked into what the hell it was if I came across one. Know your enemies, folks.
You know my name. Sure. We've been watching you through the mirror for a long time.
Man, I hope that's not true because I do some weird shit in front of the mirror sometimes.
Mind if I sit up there with you? Oh, no. I mean, of course.
Oh God, don't touch it! Ugh, go wash your hands! The smell of death is on you now!
Are there more of you? Bunches more. The whole Huggabunch clan.
And they're just waiting for me to give the word to take over your world.
It's the first time anybody ever came through my mirror before. How did you do it? Mirrors soften up when folks hug. It's one of your basic perplexiconic chemical miracles.
Did this made-for-TV movie just try to give a scientific explanation as to why this thing can travel through mirrors?
The Huggabunch lives in Huggaland. We hug all the livelong day. Oh, that feels really good.
Ugh, oh my God, that is not a normal reaction for when a child hugs you.
What's that? We call them Hugworks.
Of course you do.
Sparkles real good when you get a real honest clinch and clinger.
I have no idea what Huggins just said, but I think I need an adult, and so does Bridget.
Huggins explains as the leader of the Huggabunch gang, she came to help Bridget regarding her woes.
I'm the only one with savoir-faire. Huh? That's French. Savoir-faire. It means I have charm.
I do not like her, Jen's my name. I do not like this Huggins dame.
I do not like her felty face. I do not like her creepy place. I would not like her near this child. I'd prefer she's hunted in the wild. I would not like her here nor there. I would not like her anywhere.
I do not like this Huggins twat. I hope she dies. I'm not Dr. Seuss. What do you want from me?
I find you very charming, Huggin, but it won't work on Andrew. He's dead set against hugging or touching or anything like that. I'll charm his teeth right out of his gums.
I don't care that he doesn't like to be touched. I'm gonna do it anyways.
Consent is stupid, right, kids?
Also, this kind of implies she's gonna beat the shit out of Andrew if he doesn't let this thing hug him.
Just lead me to him. Okay.
Great, now you're an accessory to this crime, kid.
Oh God, look at the way it walks. So Bridget leads this thing to Andrew's room, but luckily for him, he has Little League practice.
Sure got a lot of strange things in here.
Okay, I thought maybe it was just the transfer, but I don't think it is. Why does this thing have a voice filter? Why?
They mess around with Andrew's things, because again, why be respectful of a child's space? Just go around touching shit that doesn't belong to you.
Ooh, thank you, Bridget. How do I look?
Somebody should burn that, just in case those Huglet things get on it. Start a new plague.
Bridget sees her chance to ditch Huggins in her brother's room, leaving the demon Hellspawn to wander around in the house.
Huggins? Huggins, where are you?
Did you not notice the thing wasn't walking behind you?
It's kind of hard to miss. Huggins wanders around the house until she hears the mom coming and hides in the dirty laundry that mom quickly puts in the wash, drowning Huggins and saving humanity from certain destruction.
And that's the Huggabunch, is what I want to say. Damn it.
I don't like it in here.
Well, I like that you're in there.
Yes, drown it! Send it back to the gates of hell where it came from! Unfortunately for us, Bridget finds Huggins, dries her off, and while doing so, Grandma looks in, doesn't say a goddamn word about what the hell is going on in there, and just keeps going. Well, that seems reasonable. Bridget tries to talk her grandma into not leaving, but the horrible aunt convinced her it's her decision and leaves to start packing. Huggins asks what's going on, and Bridget explains because grandma's getting old, the adults don't want her around to remind them that death comes for us all.
Only more kid-friendly.
I'll tell you my suggestion for your grounds. Plenty of affection and lots of hugging.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
No, I'm not a doctor.
I'm as good as new. Insides are still a little squishy, but I'll dry out.
Oh my god! Huggins is trying to get into our world! Back! Back, foul creature!
The bookworm! The what? He's got the answers to everything you want. Whenever a hugger has a question, we ask the bookworm. He's smart. A talking worm? Give me a break.
I mean, you came crawling through my mirror from another dimension, but a talking worm? Get out of here!
Come on, I'll take you to him. Through the mirror? What are you scared of? It doesn't hurt. What if I can't get back? You want to help your grounds or not?
No, that's a valid question from this kid.
I get you and your creepy clan of felt demons need child blood to nourish your thirst, but at least pretend like you're not trying to kidnap them. Huggins makes this child hug her to make the mirror squishy, not my words, and they hop into the land of the Huggabunch.
Wow!
My goodness!
Oh god, there's more of them. Look, I knew there would be, but still... Ugh.
How do you do, Hugsy?
What do you say, Bridget? Where'd you get that neato cap?
Bridget gave it to me.
Excuse me, I don't think Bridget gave her that cap, and even if she did, it wasn't hers to give, so that makes you guys dirty, dirty thieves.
These are my friends. Come on and meet them. This is Tickles and Bubbles. Well, I'm very pleased to meet you. Oh, we don't shake hands here.
I mean, we do, just not with humans.
Don't forget me. I'm Tweaker.
You sure are.
We do a lot of hugging around here. That's why we're huggers.
Haha, we've been doing hugs since before the world began.
So the Huggabunch gang are ancient ones?
Is the implication here that they're older than any of the other gods in the solar system? I think I need to lay down.
I'm doing my best to understand. It's very simple, Bridget.
If you weren't a stupid human child, you'd understand, Bridget.
And from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. We hug and hug. I'll tell you why we do.
Absolutely fucking not. I am not sitting through this siren song they're trying to force on me.
Oh good, one of them is dead. Why do these things' footsteps sound like a typewriter?
Every new thing introduced about these creatures just makes me hate them more.
I love your song and I love to hug. But I came here to save my grandmother. Oh, I forgot about that.
How? That's the reason you're here to begin with.
You think any kid would go willingly with you without a reason? Hugsy offers to take them in his car. Yes, these things have cars. And they head off to meet the bookworm.
Fasten your hug bell.
He calls a seatbelt a hug belt. And it has arms and hands that buckle. That's so unnecessarily terrifying.
I keep expecting it to clamp over the kid's mouth or something. They make it to the bookworm, who is real quick to tell them to piss off, which makes me think these things bother him way too often. Eventually, after a zany back and forth of misunderstandings, Bridget finally gets the information she needs.
Instant youth can be had by eating the fruit of the youngberry tree. The fruit must be taken from the tree and eaten, but never touch the ground, or it will disappear. Poof.
Well, that's stupid. Kind of telegraphs the end, doesn't it?
Bridget asks where she can get these young berries, and the bookworm says they only grow in the land of shrugs.
What's the matter? Ooh, Shrugs is a bad place, and scary, and gruesome, and hard to get to.
I'm gonna call it this land of shrugs is actually a good nation.
The denizens have just been decimated by these hugging demons and forced to live underground after they took over the surface world.
So how do I find this youngberry tree?
See that big book over there? Last chapter, last page.
It's awfully dark in there.
It's also very deep. I usually say arrivederci or hasta la vista, but to you I'll say goodbye forever. You'll never come back.
So all the creatures in this dimension are selfish assholes too, huh?
Larry David looking ass.
Here we go.
Psych! I am so out of here.
That's about the silliest sidewalk I ever saw. How can we walk on that?
Guys, am I high or did I just walk up the wall?
Well, it certainly makes a person's tummy feel very curious.
What do you mean by that? Stop being weird, Bridget.
They follow the path and come across a sea of broken glass and the castle of the queen.
What is that? It's the hairy behemoth! He'll gobble us up!
You knew that existed, but you didn't warn the kid?
Hugsy thinks, hey, you know what that raging animal with murder in his eyes needs? A hug. And unfortunately for us, it works, turning the behemoth into a baby elephant named Hodgepodge.
How do you do, Hodgepodge? My name is Bridget Severson. And I'm Huggin!
I didn't ask for you creatures' names. Hodgepodge takes them to the castle where they find the youngberry tree, and while trying to figure out how to get to it, they're attacked by monsters with sparklers and the goddamn evil queen from Snow White, played by, I think, the same actress who plays Aunt Ruth.
Wow, that's like very Wizard of Oz of you Huggabunch gang.
I'm Bridget Severson, and I'm an American citizen, and I don't have to kneel down to any old body.
You're in another dimension, kid. Nobody here gives a shit.
I wonder how this goes for them.
Poor Bridget.
Yeah, there it goes.
You know, I gotta say, the movie is terrible and really boring, but I do love how much the queen chews the scenery. She just goes for it and is easily the only entertaining thing about this movie. So Bridget runs her mouth and is turned to stone while the others rot in prison. Hodgepodge wakes up and immediately breaks down the door.
Woo! For a second there, I thought this movie was gonna have a bit of tension.
What did they do to you, Bridget?
You were there!
Huggins and Hugsy hug Bridget, which breaks the spell. That was a hard sentence to say.
Wait! We forgot about the youngberries for Grandma. But we can't get at them. I know, and I was so close to getting them home to her.
Look!
The key!
You'd think instead of having the queen just leave a precious item where anyone can grab it, they'd have Hodgepodge break the glass or lift it so Bridget can crawl under to get to them. But no, this is lazier and dumb kids don't care. They'll buy our scary ass dolls regardless. So why can the berries go into a jar but not touch the floor?
The key! Where is my key? Oh, you meddler! That's what keeps me young! Oh,
Hurry up! Hurry up!
So, Bridget just killed this lady after breaking into her house and robbing her. This is a kid's movie.
The Hugs and Bridget celebrate their multiple felonies before Bridget walks through the mirror and immediately drops all the young berries.
Oh no, they're gone.
So go back? I mean, there should be less resistance now since you murdered the homeowner.
Like I said before, just have Hodgepodge lift the cage. And wait, how did they get back from the Land of Shrugs? They jumped down a steep hole. And actually, wouldn't the young berries eventually kill your grandma? I mean, look what happened to the queen after she didn't eat one after like an hour or something.
It seems like it would be more of a curse she'd be bestowing on her grandma. I think Bridget might be secretly a psychopath.
Mom calls the kids to say goodbye to Grandma, and Bridget confronts Andrew about having the audacity of wanting people to respect his personal space.
Parker,
Yes, Mom?
you be sure and take care of my kids, promise?
I promise.
After Andrew's heart grew 3 sizes and begs her not to go, the rest of the family decides that maybe not letting a loving elderly woman leave the home her and her husband shared to an unknown place that might treat her poorly is such a good idea.
Ruth, put the bags down. Mom's not going anywhere.
Now look here, Parker.
Ruthie, drop 'em.
Parker, she needs to be with people her own age.
Oh, Ruth, age has nothing to do with it. Besides...
Have you considered, Ruth, that maybe you're just an awful bitch? This woman is a nurse.
The thing that pisses me off about this story is Ruth doesn't even fucking live in this house, but she's making these decisions for this family. Bridget even makes mention earlier in the movie that it's weird she's suddenly coming around so often. Hey, a new hat to steal!
And that's Hugging Felt Demons.
A movie that should have been lost to the sands of time, but you know, I live for this shit. I was originally gonna talk about the cartoon, but honestly, besides the fact that they don't move apart from blinking, the cartoon is actually kind of cute. It's very much for preschool to kindergarten age children, and the characters are actually cutesy instead of...
I don't quite understand how something that looks like this is a cartoon is translated to this.